hostility from the pirates against commercial ships has increased.
They've pushed up ransoms. They've kept pushing them up and up and up.
Piracy is seen as an international problem, but it is more so a Somali problem.
It's nothing but killers and kidnappers.
They're being more violent and sometimes deadly towards hostages.
These guys are nothing but criminals.
The area off the coast of Somalia that the naval vessels call their theatre of operations is now huge. It extends as far as to Oman coastline, the Seychelles and the Maldives. Up to 40 vessels can be operating in the area, but when they're all coming from different countries and all have different remits, it's very difficult for them to be coordinated. I'm here in Malmö at the World Maritime University, where they've congregated some of the leading minds to address some of the latest issues.
They are separate agendas for the separate forces, which means that the all-in-all picture and the coordination of the assets available are hampered.
Ship owners that are sending vessels into the region are being encouraged to engage in best management practices. This is coming from both the shipping organisations and the naval forces in the region. However, such activities and the increased use of armed guards is for some having a detrimental effect on how the pirates are responding.
The hostility from the pirates against commercial ships has increased. They have adopted to the naval presence, so they are clever and they're quite good. And the lack of resources makes them win in a duel between time and space, so to say.
Do remember, these are criminals. And I don't like the word piracy. You know that it's too romantic. Call it what it is. It's nothing but killers and kidnappers, criminal gangs, and you need to react much more robustly. You would not see this ashore.
For Secretary General Thimios Mitropoulos, it's a chance for him to see that the four worst-case scenarios do not materialise. They are an attack on a cruise ship, an attack on a VLCC leading to an environmental disaster, for ships' crews refusing to sail through the region, and for the increased negative impact on economic trade. But he knows that there is a limit to what the IMO can achieve.
We should not be over-optimistic that a solution to the problem can be found whilst there is political instability ashore.
Efforts to counter piracy must also come from within the region. But there is a fear that releasing pirates into the hands of the local countries by naval vessels does not lead to enough prosecutions.
The current figure we got is 1,045 Somali pirates behind bars in 20 states, either already having been prosecuted or awaiting prosecution. And I think that's a pretty good figure in 2 years' time. Of course, the challenge is that these are the men in the boat and not the organizers. And as you know, we only have a few organizers behind bars. This requires a lot of cooperation between investigators and prosecutors. And this has taken some time for it to kick off, some time for Interpol and Europol to kick off this cooperation, but it's also coming now.
Countries in the region are beginning to see the potential of strong legal action. The Seychelles has prosecuted a group of Somalis, not on evidence of having been caught red-handed, but on suspicion of being about to commit an act of piracy. Other countries in the region are also looking at the legal processes, but there is of course doubt that they will be able to take a strong position and maintain it.
We have to start, and we are starting, but I think the only workable model at the moment is that we transfer to prosecution, as you mentioned, in Kenya, the Seychelles, Tanzania, Mauritius.
Whilst the international community works on its robust and even local response to the acts of piracy, ship owners are turning to more immediate solutions and using armed guards on board, either from private security or from military personnel.
Well, inevitably there's a lot of sensitivity about the use of lethal weapons, and in the wrong hands they're very dangerous, in the right hands they're a very useful tool, which is actually all they are. Inevitably people will be concerned about the reliability of the private maritime security companies, but that's why we've got the SAMI accreditation program in place and how we're going to do that.
Robert Young-Pelton is the publisher of Somali Report, using sources in the country to get information out.
Piracy probably has seen its zenith. Last year was a great year for piracy. Now you're seeing a lot less ships, a lot less hostages. Pirates are sitting on inventory, to use a retail term. They're trying to gouge more than they were before. They're being more violent and sometimes deadly towards hostages, which is obviously changing the model. They're also welching on deals. I mean, literally written deals are now being sort of ripped up as the plane is coming to drop the money.
While the shipping community is fighting against piracy on an international level, there are those that have been into the country that believe that there is actually a fight back at a local level.
Piracy is becoming less tolerated in Somalia. That is the simple answer to your question. However, people on the coastal towns, there are rumours and reports that they're still in support of what the pirates do. Having said that, most people in Somalia, in my opinion, want nothing to do with the pirates and really do feel that they are sort of a bane on the Somali reputation at the moment.
It remains to be seen whether the solution against piracy is going to come from the international community or from the countries being affected themselves. This is Craig Eason for Lloyd's List.